Royal Caribbean versus Virgin Voyages, how do these two cruise lines stack up and compare to each other in terms of something that's not talked about enough, price, as well as food, entertainment, and so much more coming up. I've had so much fun sailing with both of these cruise lines, and if you're new here, yo, I'm Christine Lozada with Where in the World is CL, and I make travel videos every week to help you get up, get out, and go travel. So if you like to travel, consider subscribing. I really thought I was set on sailing with Virgin Voyages for the rest of my life, but I just recently got off yet another Royal Caribbean cruise, and I'm feeling very differently. Let's start with the first thing to compare, which is a big part of everybody's decision on travel, which is price. Let me give you the two numbers for each of the ships. It was $490 per night for two people on Royal Caribbean and $690 per night for two people on Virgin Voyages. I tried my absolute best to create an apples to apples comparison for you. So let's talk about, wait, hold on. I'm sure you have some questions, right? So let's talk about what goes into each of those prices. The first thing to keep in mind is dining. So on Royal Caribbean, I got the unlimited specialty dining package. And on Virgin Voyages, there's no such thing. You can just eat at all of the specialty restaurants. And so that is apples to apples. The next thing, what about drinking? Drinking on Royal Caribbean, I had the unlimited booze cruise beverage package. So I had that on Royal Caribbean, and I was paying per drink on Virgin Voyages, right? They don't have a drink package on Virgin Voyages, and I'll admit, I drank a whole lot of Moet, so that racked up a bill. So that was another thing. Next on the list is internet. On Royal Caribbean, I paid for the Voom internet, and on Virgin Voyages, internet is included, but I did pay additional to have the upgraded internet for streaming. Well, for Zoom calls, if I'm honest. But there are two other things that really affect the price. One is season, like when are you cruising? And when I cruised with Royal Caribbean, it was in a low season. In other words, I went to the Caribbean in the months in which there tends to be more weather, and so I got a better price. So that definitely drove the price down. Again, we're looking at $490 versus $690, or a 40% difference. You're paying 40% more for Virgin Voyages. The other last thing that was different was the room type. On Virgin Voyages, the majority of rooms have a balcony. On Royal Caribbean, a much bigger ship, a lot of different options. It was actually an accident at the end of the day. I talk about this in the other video, but I had an inside cabin, so that had a huge effect on the price. And so I want you to take these two prices and know that there are these caveats around them, and know that it is possible to get really great deals on both of these cruises, but this is what I paid. And make sure you check out my other video on 6 helpful tips on how to save money when you're booking a cruise, including the wave if you don't know about it. Let's talk about the food, because the food is such a huge part of your cruise experience. And let's be honest, let's put this out there in the first place. The average person will gain this amount of weight when they are on a cruise. So it's just known that you normally will gorge yourself when you're on a cruise, me included. And when I sailed with Virgin Voyages the first time, I was sold. I was like, wow, this dining experience is phenomenal. And the thing that you will hear in these stories is, one, Virgin Voyages has a bit of a more sophisticated dining experience, and it's a little bit more cutting edge. Again, you're sailing the Virgin way. It's just supposed to be different. The other thing that you'll hear a lot in these stories is how the existence or non-existence of there being buffets really changes the experience. And it kind of ties back to feeling like it's a little bit more sophisticated. When you don't have the choice, here is an example. In Virgin Voyages, even in the food hall, where there's lots of stalls, some of them open 24 hours, you are encouraged to sit down and order from a menu. At some of the stalls, yeah, you can walk up and you can grab the food right there. They'll serve it to you. You're not serving yourself. Again, no buffet, but you are mostly encouraged to sit down and order from a menu. Versus in Royal Caribbean, we all know the Windjammer, and when the Windjammer is open, it is jammed with people and their plates are jam-packed with food. Like you're walking around the Windjammer watching people like balancing as many plates as possible, right? That's a very common thing. On Royal Caribbean, they're catering to the masses, and it's not uncommon to see people really gorging themselves on a Royal Caribbean cruise. It's not a bash, it's a me too, right? We're all filling our plates full of food, and it's just different on Virgin Voyages. While they will encourage you to order more, or do you want another round of that? Or do you want another side? Or you can order as much as you want, but it's not a serve yourself buffet experience. You are sat and you are ordering, and it's just different. The other thing about the food is the specialty dining. So on Virgin Voyages, the specialty dining restaurants really go all out in the decor for being more modern, more edgy, it feels like you're dining in the cities that I used to live in. It feels like I'm back in Manhattan, in New York City. It feels like I'm in San Francisco. It's beautiful spaces and really beautifully served food, but the food is a little bit more cutting edge. So you'll see more forward flavors or more trending flavors, or you'll just see things on a menu that you would see in a city. Versus when you're on Royal Caribbean, these are the flavors that really appeal to the masses. Royal Caribbean has it down pat to be able to serve lots of people ongoing all the time. Again, the size of the ship is significantly more. We'll talk about that more in a second. But when I, for example, go to Chop's Grill, it's steak and potatoes. It's exactly what I expected. A Jamie's Italian. It's your pizza and your pasta. It's exactly what I would expect out of a traditional restaurant on a traditional cruise. On that same note though, if you're wondering, well, Christine, which one do you prefer? I really came on to Royal Caribbean thinking, the food's not gonna be nearly as good. And you know what? It was to die for. It was so good on Royal Caribbean, but it's just a different dining experience. It's your traditional dining experience. I mean, on Virgin Voyages, you have your waiter at Gun Bay helping you to play drinking games with the strangers that you were sitting at this table with and sharing a family style meal. Yes, Royal Caribbean might have the tep-in tables, right? You might be able to sit around and be served in that traditional setting, but it's just not the same vibe. By the way, if you're getting some value out of this video, cheers that like button, consider subscribing, and this is one of many videos about both of these cruise lines, so check the links in the description below for the rest of the playlist. And if you're wondering what the heck is up with her lighting right now, the power has been out for 4.5 hours, and to be honest, I'm really sweaty because the air conditioning is also out, but your girl is working hard for you. So if you have any helpful tips that might help other cruisers, add them in the comments below. We're all community. And I'm gonna share an honest story really quick, which is when I was on Virgin Voyages, I was literally WhatsApping my mom, telling her, like, you gotta come on this ship, like you gotta cruise with us on Virgin Voyages. And then after I got off Royal Caribbean, I was like, whoa, no way, my mom should never go on Virgin Voyages. It's not for everybody. And I have a video about how it's not for everybody. But I know that my parents will be so much happier on Royal Caribbean. And one of the primary reasons is the entertainment. So let's talk about that. The first thing to start with is let's not forget that Virgin Voyages is an adults only cruise. And that completely changes the vibe and the types of jokes that are told in the entertainment, and also the type of entertainment. So let's give a couple examples. The first thing, let's talk about the comedy shows, for example. On Royal Caribbean, you have your expected Cellar-like comedy show with great comedians telling super funny jokes, very clean before 10 p.m. But even at that after 10 p.m. show, they're still being careful about who's in the crowd, right? Versus on Virgin Voyages, you don't have a comedy show. You have a hilarious drag show, and it's over the top. If you have not watched a drag comedy show, I encourage you to. But another example is for a reason. It's called Not Your Grandma's Bingo, because on Virgin Voyages, it's drag bingo with, yes, we are for real playing bingo and for money, but it is in a funny and fun drag style show with entertainment throughout the bingo experience. Versus on Royal Caribbean, I mean, people are lined up for their cards hours in advance, and it is serious bingo business. On Royal Caribbean, still super fun. I love to participate. And the other thing, some of the shows on Virgin Voyages are just sexy. I mean, think about, oh man, one of you guys in the comments below recently told me that the Cirque du Soleil show, X, that used to be in Vegas, it was the adult show, doesn't exist anymore. Oh, it's not called X, it's called Zumanity. It doesn't exist anymore. That reminds me of Virgin Voyages, because some of the shows, for example, one of the main characters, he's wearing half a tux and half a gown, and for the most part, showing his chest the whole time. Or in Never Sleep Alone, and you can get a taste of this by listening to the podcast. It's hilarious. I will link it in the description below. But it's a very hilariously sexual podcast. And I want to talk about one of the misperceptions around Virgin Voyages. People just think it's a millennial cruise. And I'm only speaking from my experience on 2 sailings, but I didn't meet a single person in their 20s. There were probably 40 people or so celebrating their 40s, but for the most part, it's an older group of people, which is what I expected. And if you look at all the PR that Virgin Voyages puts out, it's also who they're catering to. But again, it's an adult experience with adult humor, and it's just different. And the more I think about it, as I was sitting on Royal Caribbean, in all of their very entertaining but very non-sexy shows, watching the guy walk the tightrope, watching them do flips over the water, all kinds of great entertainment, singing, Grease. It's such great family fun. And those are the shows I want to be sitting next to my mom with, and maybe not the drag shows. I think she would find them really funny though. My dad, I don't know, you'd be a game time decision. Let's talk about size, because the size of the ship really changes both the vibe and the experience that you have. So I've sailed with Royal Caribbean many times, but I was most recently on the Harmony of the Seas. Look at that. That's a lot of passengers that it can hold, versus on Virgin Voyages on Scarlet Lady, it's a much smaller sailing experience. And so the spaces just feel a little bit more intimate. There's a lot more going into the decor. And again, it's an adult-only cruise, so it ain't child-proof when you're walking around the spaces of Virgin Voyages. And the size of the cruise also affects how much there is going on all the time. And this is one of the top reasons why I think my mom would prefer Royal Caribbean. She loves the paper, the piece of paper that comes into your stateroom each night, in which you can look at the 5 million things happening all the time around the ship. Whether it's the things that are on sale, or the giveaways, or the show that's happening, or the music, or the film, like there's just so much going on all the time. And on Virgin Voyages, it's just different. Well, for one, you have to use the app for everything. Royal Caribbean also has an amazing app, but on Virgin Voyages, it's actually hard to find the paper itinerary. You have to go to a specific place on the ship to, anyway, it's not like that. Yes, there's plenty of things going on, but it's not at the same scale, right? It's not as big of a boat, so it's not like they're gonna have the rock climbing wall open and the slide and the water slides and the wave runner thing and the blah, 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 right? It's not as many things on the ship. And so if I'm honest with myself, my mom and dad would get bored on Virgin Voyages because there isn't enough entertainment on the ship and things to do around the ship. even just changing spaces. I mean, I have my favorite places to hang out on Scarlet Lady, but on Harmony of the Seas, on Royal Caribbean, it's such a huge ship. Not only is it easy to get super lost, but there's just so many places to explore. I recently sailed with them for significantly longer than I'm used to. I was on that ship for 7 nights, and I still didn't see everything. And I've been on that boat 3 times now. So the size of the ship really changes the experience, and it also means that there will be varying amounts of things to do. And one of the things about Virgin Voyages, right, it's a really big focus on really great food, but a lot of fitness. And so they're all about that detox to retox mentality. And so a lot of the stuff that they have going on is around fitness classes and fitness activities. And so actually my parents are really into that. But if you're not into that, you might find yourself with a lack of things to do. Ooh, in my video about things I hate about Virgin Voyages, I really missed one of my most favorite things to do on a cruise ship, which is watch the live reggae bands. I love I love all live music, but reggae music, oh, by the pool, when you're in the Caribbean, oh man, Royal Caribbean winning all day on that front. Royal Caribbean, Virgin Voyages, I'm so curious where you are on the spectrum and who you think you would sail with, or if you've sailed with both of them, who you prefer. Let us know, because your opinion matters and it helps people to make the right travel decisions. We're all a community, let's help each other out. Whew, look, the power is back on. Yes, I'm gonna go edit this. If you found some value in it, cheers that like button. Lots of videos in the description below, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.